So we're here with the second game between Shootin Teutons and Hope Valley Ultras. It is on Golden Pit, and as we can see, it's all about the middle here. Golds and stones in abundance in the middle. In exchange, you only get some small patches around your home base. So 2 times 3 tile gold for the players, that's 8 times 3, 4,800 gold total at your home base. Once those run out, you won't have access to gold any other place on the map than the middle. So that bodes for some exciting games. As the game moves on towards the late game, you'll really need the middle to sustain your production. So let's talk through the players and civs again here. We could be starting with Barrel Master, playing the pocket role again with the Franks for Golden Pit. Berries in the back, that's great news. You'll be less subject to aggression that way. Both goals kind of forward though, so we don't love that, but still they could be walled in towards the woodlines here. It looks like a very decent full wall potential for Barrel Master 3000 here with lots of woodlines. He's not going to be taken off wood easily here. Franks, I love the pick for Golden Pit as well, because Franks have cheaper castles, so you have an easier time contesting middle and overall map control if you're able to mine stone and get the castles up. For the left side of Barrel Master, we have the Pobler here as the Britons. Seen the previous game as well, we saw Britons in play. Obviously a solid civ for Golden Pit as well, as they are one of the best archer civs with their range advantages. It's not much to tell about the build just yet, but could be that we're seeing straight archers again. Given the distance between the players, an infantry opening is certainly justified though. Maybe go for a Drush fast castle, giving the wall ability of the map, or simply go into the men-at-arms for some potential increased damage output and villager kills on Venison on the other side here. But Britain's obviously going to go for the archers. Given the abundance of stone, we might even see some longbows in play in this game, which would be exciting. And for the right hand side, for Hope Valley Ultras here, we have Schwimbuts as the Aztecs. Aztecs have Eagle Warriors access. They have great infantry with a unique techno infantry. They start with a little bit of extra gold, which facilitates an infantry style opening, and we see Schwimbuts is forward and scouting the enemy already now at the 4.5 minutes, so he might be thinking about a Drush opening with Aztecs here. We'll have to see how it progresses. One semi-forward gold though, but also one gold in the back rather close to the TC, so I like the gold situation of Schwimbuts here. We'll probably be playing the archers as flanked with the Aztecs though, and then go into maybe Eagle Braids later to counter enemy archers or whatever we might see into play. Now for the other team, we have Longhander playing the pocket again here. I believe he did that the previous game as well. He is going for the Khmer, so we might see some tanky battle elephants in play this game. So I'm looking forward to that. Battle elephants and archers line units, that's very tough to stop both in Castle and Imperial Ages, as you will, even if you go halbs in Imperial Age, you'd have your teammates arbalets to pick off the halberdiers. So if you can get to that combination, that's just going to be pretty crazy. It does involve some middle control though, because battle elephants are expensive both in terms of food and gold. Nothing wrong with going scouts into knights as Khmer either, and they have very smooth transitions through the ages, given that they have they don't need any buildings to pick up or to unlock other buildings. Schwimbuts falling behind the villagers here though. I think he went into loom maybe to salvage. No, he didn't go loom, so he has had some fair share of idle TC time here, and is falling behind by 2 villagers. Must have been some unlucky rhino lures here, I guess. But finally, for Shootin Teutons, we have Venison on the left side flank this time around with the Ethiopians this time around. The previous game he was Chinese against Ethiopians, now he is Ethiopians against Britons. It could be an interesting one, Britain's extra range versus the Ethiopians' faster firing archers, but doesn't change the fact that both civilizations on the left hand side will surely go for the archers opening.
No Bob Rania.
Schwimbuts looking for some good hits on Dracula's scout here, but doesn't quite succeed. Dracula keeps it alive and keeps scouting. Let's look at the player scouting actually. Pockets usually minding their own business, looking, scouting to see how to wall. Looks like Longhander forgot to place his second number camp here, but that's has to be right around the corner. He is going up at 21 pop, so absolutely suggesting a scouts opening here. Also not dropping the barracks, something you don't need to do as Khmer to get to the scouts, because you could drop the stables right away. The issue being, if you don't make the barracks as Khmer and go that greedy, you won't have the option to go into Spearmen against the enemy scouts. So, yeah, scouting the enemy sides here. Benson sees 3 on gold. Should be indicative of a straight archers build. 22 pop up for the Britain's player here should be sufficient for straight straight archers for sure. The other side work Shootin with the Eagle Scout here. Can't really snipe in the villagers here because they have loom, but we'll also be gathering some important information here to see that Dracula with the Vikings here will likely also be going for the archers play. I don't see any military building for Dracula over here though, so that's a bit of an oversight not to have the barracks ready upon reaching the fuel age. Could it be a greedy wall of fast castle here? I don't think so either, because there aren't any farms here. Here comes the barracks. I think Dracula simply forgot about it this time around. I'm not sure if you mentioned Vikings by the way, but they get wheelbarrow for free in the fuel age, boosting their economy work quite a bit. It has the villagers walking a little bit faster and gathering more resources. Before they drop off. It's going to be not just 10 but 13 before they drop off here. In the castle age they also get hand cart instantly, which even further increases that bonus. Archery range now going up, double ranges in fact for Dracula, and I'm assuming the same thing is the case for the Aztecs player. Schwimbuts for now with 1 range, but after the walls have completed we'll probably follow up with another one. That is good news for Dracula though, being a bit later to get the range up. Going straight into 2 ranges should still be able to keep up with production of Schwimbuts. Also thinking about Schwimbuts being 2 villagers behind here as well, which is actually the case for Benison as well, so I think he's taken some hits here on the other side from the enemy scouts. We have Barrel Master running in here with scouts to pick off small numbers of Ethiopian archers here, but Longhander is on point and will be chasing the Franks scouts here with superior numbers, which is needed. Either more numbers or better upgrades, or quicker upgrades, if you're Khmer against Franks here in this matchup. Also one thing to attend to sometimes is see if your villagers are actually working. This mining camp placement is fine, it's just a bit of an unlucky event that one of the villagers were cramped between 2 others here and didn't bring in gold. So less efficient income than it otherwise would be. But however you look at it, so far so good for both teams. Benson, being subject to some raids, is falling behind and actually is lower on villager numbers than is the case for Schwimbutt now. All players still in the fuel age. Full walls in place for at least the red side flank here, and about to be completed for Shootin Teutons here as well. We have a battle event in the middle. These are Frank scouts, so they could easily take this fight for sure. Longhander will either need some upgrades in terms of defense or attack or something here to engage, or right now he should engage actually, because these are only 2 Frank scouts. But he needs the numbers or the upgrades to be able to contest Frank scouts, because they have 54 HP, whereas generic village scouts have 45. Longhander dives in alone. No, that's not the best fight ever. He will need some support from his teammate here, and Venison takes the long way around, ungarrisoning the archers at the wrong side, unfortunately. Also no upgrades for the Ethiopians archers just yet. The blacksmith is up, but Venison is completely idle at the moment. Is able to afford fetching, so by cancelling just one archer now, fetching could be right in for Venison here. Looks like Swing Boots is on the board as well, doing a good job at keeping Dracula off gold here on the right hand side. That seems to be... No, it's not the only gold. This gold is actually safer for Dracula, so that's going to be the place to go now for Dracula. Meanwhile, we have a doubling on the left hand side with Daphobler and Barrel Master ganging up on Venison here. Archers will, or any units really, will target one closest, so that's why you keep the scouts in front to tank arrow fire, so Daphobler can have three shots in on Venison archers. I'm not sure why they're not engaging here, because the wall was about to go down and they have the superior numbers. That's a no-brainer really, just go for the fight, unless you're all the way up the gas stage and want to preserve your numbers, but that's not the case here. Hello, hello! Okay, I won. So let's have a look at the numbers here. 19 military for Venison with the Ethiopians against Daphobler with 21. Difference being upgrades here. Venison doesn't have the defense. However, he has faster firing units, so he could still take somewhat favorable engagements here, especially with the choke points here and the fact that the scouts are out of position. Ethiopians archers, they kill scouts more quickly simply due to their faster firing rates. This is a quick work made of Barrel Master Scout by Venison and a bit of poor engagement there from Hope Valley Ultras. So we have Daphobler with 17 archers, while Barrel Master Pocket is going up. Venison is going up as well. So he's definitely going to have the crossbows way before Daphobler here. Yes, not way before. Yes, a 20% lead here. Still a good and reasonable one to have when you are going to take any engagements. Behind the walls here, Venison is safe for now, placing a house over here so that the archers won't easily break through. And that means that Venison could easily preserve his numbers before going into crossbows here. And if he gets real lucky, he could even take an engagement right after crossbows kick in. Just once crossbow kicks in, delete the walls, run out, take your best engagement you can against these numbers. You see the power of Britons at work here as well, though, in terms of replenishing numbers. 24 to 21 here for now. Venison goes out with the archers now. He has the fast firing, he's going to pick up some small numbers here. I guess it's because Longhander is in the mix here, and they can't know that Daphobler is going to be slower to the next stage. But I feel like Venison could be even more patient here though, to wait for crossbow before engaging. Barrel Master with the cast age, I see some purple inside here somewhere. And my game seems to be struggling as well, but didn't completely crash. I'm glad to see that. There is wide open here only due to the overshot though, but Team Waltz seem to salvage that. On the right hand side we have Dracula pushing with some archers and skirms here. Schwimbut dropping a market maybe for adjustments purposes here, has lots of resources, but might need to adjust them a little bit for practical purposes. With skirmishers in the mix, this is not half bad for Dracula though, until Cast Lage can kick in for Twin Boots and Crossbow can kick in as well. Dracula should pull away immediately, and that's exactly what they're doing here. Or not. Yeah, so when the opponent is in the Cast Lage, you can't stay forward with your army like this. You risk losing everything before Cast Lage kicks in, and then you'll be left with no units to upgrade. Dracula with 20 military total here, they are almost all forwards, and Twin Boots already has crossbows in. Bye bye. That's it for me. Shrimp Boots could actually break the walls and chase here and look pretty reasonable because Dracula is still far away from the castle age. Strong engagement from Longhander and Venison on the left hand side though. We have Darkovler with 21 military here now, but here comes Barrel Master with the support as well. Frank's Knights. Both players have Bloodlines in, both have 2+2, so it's going to come down to sheer numbers here. 14 against 6 here. Longhander seems to have more consistent production, more numbers overall. 18 to 14 for the time being. Good engagements here, staying away from TC while Barrelmaster and Darkovler obviously stays close to the garrison TC. It's a good call because then Red and Blue can't engage here. The downside being that every time the TC is garrisoned, you will be having idle time on your economy. And that's going to be a factor here soon enough, but right now looks like Darkovler has a decent economy going still. Right hand side, Shrimp Boots is moving forward with 22 crossbows though. Dracula managed to get his numbers back home. Castle Age is in and both Elite Skirm and crossbow is on the way. That could be a good news for the Vikings player here now with 3 ranges, whereas Shrimp Boots seems to be stuck with 2. Crossbow is in, Bodkin however isn't, and also not the second armor upgrade, so Shrimp Boots certainly has a stronger army here, will take some losses obviously. Where are the Elite Skirms? They are here. Considering that Dracula has Viking Eco working for him here, that's not the worst thing ever, not the worst fight ever. Gets some good cleanups here, but also one that could have been better, I think. Cleans up Shrimbut's numbers here though, and Shrimbut's is down to 10 units now. While Venison and Longhander aren't quite engaging but are being annoying up here. Definitely enough knights here to contest town centers. So what Longhander could do now is start attacking the TC, and any villager popping out to try and repair the TC, that's where Venison comes in with the archers and snipe them while they're at it. Shootin Teutons dominating in the army department now, considering that Shrimp Boots just lost lots of their army. Oh, Venison is about to find the gold of Darkovler here. That could be very significant. I think this is the... yeah, there's a little bit of gold left here, but that's off as well. So this is the second gold of Darkovler. Darkovler now is going to struggle with gold income for further production. There's a sizable army here though, but I think the Shootin Teutons still have the upper hand here. Britain's superior range, yes, but Venison has the second defense for the archers as well. So if it comes down to an archer versus archers fight here, Darkovler will have to have the micro of a lifetime here to take out Venison's numbers, because Venison has stronger archers overall. Villagers fighting a knight here, that's not going to work well for them. Villagers down to 40 for Darkovler now, that's not a pretty sight. Right hand side, Dracula is doing work as well with Vikings crossbows and skirmishers mix moving forward here. Can't really expect any Shrimp Boots can't really expect any help from Barrelmaster, because Barrelmaster is down to 5 military here. 22 against 35. Britain's hit and run could work here, but Venison enters, will be punishing the gold here now. And let's look at their scouting. We've been looking very little at their scouting, but they need to know what's going on in the middle as well. We have TCs from Longhander and Venison in the middle, but also from Shrimp Boots here. So Shrimp Boots is off gold at home, is empty, it doesn't have gold at home at all actually, but now has middle access. So that's something that has to be contested for the late game. Decent coordination here again, although Venison doesn't have the numbers needed necessarily here, especially not with these kinds of choke points. But they're certainly keeping Darkovler and Barrelmaster at their toes, and that's arguably the most important thing here. Daphoebler just now back on gold, only has 22 gold in the bank and is struggling here. Defensive castle for Daphoebler though. I think with the current army mass, let's see if Venison can clear this up. It might be just enough to buy Daphoebler time to drop this castle and secure the gold here, but it's going to come at the cost of their army as well. Venison with 28 inventory here, going for ballistics now as well, whereas Daphoebler isn't producing at all. Just checking the rank of these guys. They are roughly similar in rank actually, so they seem evenly matched. Venison finally loses the forward archers, but looking at the military count here of Shootin' Teutons is certainly more healthy. Dracula doing great work on the other side as well, might risk losing numbers to a Mangonel shot here, but certainly keeping Schwimbuts busy and keeping them at home. And look at the middle investment here. All three players are Shootin' Teutons in the middle as Schwimbuts drops a castle on some of the TCs here. Let's see how they react to this. Here comes the armada of knights here, and they're going to easily deal with Schwimbuts' castle drop here. We even have Longhander on the way to the Imperial Age with a massively superior villager count here. Quick houses won't help against crossbows here, and sooner rather than later we'll also have Khmer Cavalier on the menu here as a castle goes down in the middle here. Looking great for Shootin' Teutons again. This might very well be a 2-0. Overall population slightly healthier for Shootin' Teutons here, and the military numbers as well. Although HVU are getting back into it here, it might just be too late by now because of the middle presence of Shootin' Teutons here. This is definitely a waste of knights for Valor Master 3000. Unfortunately, we'll need a much larger chunk of knights to deal with this group of Ethiopian crossbows. Let's look at their resources as well. The whole Hope Valley Ultra team far away from Imperial Age, whereas Longhander is about to reach it, and Dracula also not too far off here, only missing the gold to click up. Sure, they have a castle now up here, but Longhander has a castle in the middle as well, and we'll just start prep pushing this right away upon reaching the Imperial Age here, I'm sure. Dracula with almost denied castle here. There are still two villagers left building, and here come the knights to support the drop as well. Only one villager, and he lives. That's one hero villager right there. Good job, John. You made it. All your friends died, but you're going to finish this castle. So, with the Imperial Age kicking in, Schwimbuts, Barrelmaster, and Daphoebler, call the GG is going to be a 2-0 for Shootin' Teutons, putting up a good show here, and I seem to have misclicked here and restarted the game, so we won't be seeing any stats. Damn it! Okay, that was an interesting bug.